Python is a dynamically typed language. Means in Python, the interpreter will automatically figure out what type of data it is. In the last video, you may have already noticed that I am using just a variable name and I am not telling what type of data I am going to store. Whenever I am storing this 35 into age, Python automatically figures out this is an integer and age is a type integer. Whenever I am storing this type of string in a name, it automatically decides that name is a string type variable, like so. So here is an example. So for example, here I am using, in this code snippet, I am using this x as a variable name, just to show you how the type of the variable x is changing based on the value it is storing. So in the first place, I am storing 10, which is an integer, and then I am printing the type of x, means what type of data item is stored in x, just to test whether Python interpreter is identifying the type of the data properly or not. And after that, I have stored a floating point number, that is 10.20, a numeric number with a decimal point. And then again I am printing the type of the x, type of the variable x. After that, in x I am storing a string called I love Python, and then I am again printing the type of x. And finally, I am storing a Boolean variable like true in here. And finally, again, for the last time, I am printing the type of x over here. Now, if I just run this code snippet over here, as you can understand, for this first thing, for this first print, it will say it is an integer because x is now storing 10. And 10 is an integer. For the second one, it should print float, and for the third one, it should print string, and for the fourth one, it should print something like Boolean, like so. And so now let us run this piece of code and let us see whether we are getting our expected output or not. So here I am running this code, and as you can see, for the first print statement, it is printing class int. For the second print statement, it is printing class float. For the third print statement, it is printing class str. Str stands for string. And for the fourth print statement, it is printing Boolean, which stands for printing bool, which stands for Boolean over here. So that is the meaning of dynamically typed language. You do not need to specify the type of the data item or the variable. Rather, Python automatically will figure out what type of data item it is. Now, if you have a C++ or Java background, you may find it a little bit different. But remember the philosophy of Python. It needs to be readable and it needs to be simpler. And that's why Python follow this type of convention.